Hi and welcome back to XPlane 11, and it's a bit of an overcast day today. I'm not entirely sure how low the clouds are. It's not looking great, so this could be an interesting flight. We'll see how this goes. So I'm still carrying on with my trip around Great Britain, or maybe the whole United Kingdom, still to be decided when I get to a point where I need to really worry about that, and so on and so forth. But I'm carrying on where I left off last time, which is Clacton. I don't know the place at all, but it seemed like a good landing point. So today's plan, that's not a very... can I just get rid of the wind for the moment? Looks like it might be a bit windy. Can't really see it greatly on the map at the moment, but my plan is to can I turn off anything else? No, that doesn't help. Mode, what about that? No, that doesn't help either. Nor does that. Okay, it's not a great map, I guess. There we go, that's a little bit less. So I'm going to fly down here into the Thames, and then kind of roughly follow the Thames up, and my plan is to actually visit London. So I'm actually going to land at London City Airport. So I was trying to decide whether I was just going to skip across and carry on around the coast, but I think it makes sense to actually sort of like fly up the Thames a little bit, visit London, and then carry on back out again, sort of like follow that cut into the coastline there. So that's my plan. I've got my route programmed in, and I think really everything's ready to go. So let's take the brake off, and I think, is that the strip there? I think that's the strip there. So let's go. Does that look like the strip there? Oh, looks like the strip there, right? Yeah. Looks like quite a short strip as well. Right, I'm just going to put the parking brake on for a moment. I just want to adjust my headset. Right, what direction am I facing? I'm facing north. Completely the wrong way, so I'm going to have to take off and come round and then follow the route I want to take. I actually didn't really look at what direction the wind's in. Not really taking off in the best direction. I should really taxi to the other end of the runway and take off that way, shouldn't I? Although it's practically a side wind. Let's go for it. What's the worst that can happen, right? So let's grab that. Whoa, give it some rudder, give it some rudder. Give it a lot of rudder. Wow, it's a bit choppy. Really quite choppy. Right, let's bring it round. I think I want to be heading kind of south. So it doesn't look like it's raining at least. There's the coast there. Oh yeah, I forgot it was really, really close to the coast. So get out over the coastline. Start following that down until I see my route come up on there, really. Okay, right, climb. Looks like it's bit misty today. Well, there's a hint of sun poking through as well. Right, there we go. Oh, starting to lose my climb. Just be careful there. Fly kind of back to where I started. So is that strip down there? Looks alright. Yeah, it is. Okay, so far so good. I'm going to fly by hand for a wee bit. I've been leaning on the autopilot so much, which makes sense. It makes for a slightly more comfortable flight and everything. Just in terms of because you know you're playing in VR. So basically your hands are just floating in space in front of you. You can get a bit uncomfortable on the hands, on your arms. Right, about just over 1,000 feet. Let's bring it up a bit more. See where this cloud base is. I mean, obviously what I should have done is look up the, because again I'm flying in real world conditions, so it's downloaded real world weather. I should probably have actually checked the actual weather in this part of the country. That would have made sense. Oh, right, okay, we found it. We found it. I'm just going to fly by my instruments for a moment. Try and lose a bit of height. Just watching the instruments. I'm not doing a very good job of losing height. Let's see if we can recover. Losing height a bit too quickly. Oh, okay, I'm kind of in trouble. I'm still climbing, I don't want to be climbing. There we go, come on. And we're back out, there we go. Right, I think we want to stay below about 1400. At least at this point. I'm basically trying to fly VFR in clouds. I think that's a no-no, right? Fairly sure that's a no-no. Definitely feels a bit bumpy. I'm getting this sense of a bit of buffeting going on. The hell's that? Is that the moon? Holy heck, I think that's the moon. That looks really big. It looks terrifyingly big. Why does it look so big? I didn't even know the moon was in the game. really is, isn't it? Okay. Trying to fly level. Not doing a great job of it. Creeping up, although those overcast conditions seem to have improved as I've got over the water. Cloud base looks a bit more broken. Maybe a bit higher. Now I think I have this programmed that I hit this bit of the coast and then head down there. Ooh, yeah, getting quite a lot of buffeting. Just see, I'm holding the aircraft pretty steady, but it's like bobbing around quite a bit and weaving left to right quite a bit. Whoa, drifting off quite a bit. It's fun and interesting. Now, as I was planning the route with the route planning software I have on my PC, there was all kinds of areas marked in red and, you know, this would be kind of no-go areas or whatever. I'm pretty much ignoring those because definitely around this part of the country it just seems to be everywhere, and I suppose it would make sense to try and fly this as real world as possible, but I don't really have the background or the knowledge, not these days anyway, to do that, so I'm just, no pun intended, winging it really. Just sort of enjoying the experience and the scenery. Right, how long we got to go to the next? About 10 minutes to the next. Oh, this is such a choppy day today. Bouncing all over the place. I wonder if I should go autopilot. Let's give it a bit more height. See how we go. The clouds are looking a bit higher. Trying to stay on my route, roughly. I have a funny feeling this is going to be a very interesting landing. I'm not entirely sure, but I think this is the Thames estuary in front of me. Don't know. Don't really know this part of the country too well. I mean, I've been to London tons of times, but further out east from London, never really been around this part of the country. Seems to be going okay. We're over 2,000 feet now, so the cloud base is definitely higher. I feel like I'm getting kind of close, so just be careful. Maybe try and hold it around here. Whoops. This is the problem with not being on autopilot. As I glance around at the map, it's really easy to have my hand drift off. Something down there looks like an airstrip right in front of me. Might not be, might just be field. But it looks not there, up ahead there. Actually, maybe it's the same kind of marking on the ground. The way the moon looks over there, been getting very strong Death Star rising over Scarif in Rogue One vibes out of it. Scarif? Can't remember how to pronounce it. Okay, this isn't the estuary. That's the estuary up ahead, isn't it? I'm just flying over what looks like almost marshland. We're doing an okay job of keeping it more or less straight and level, considering I'm flying it by hand. Right, I'm drifting up. Probably got enough altitude. I don't know, the sky's looking clearer, right? Doing okay. Doing okay. About 2 3/4 minutes to the next waypoint, it seems. And then we'll make our turn up the Thames. Certainly seem to have found that this has stuck with me this time. When I first bought this, I dipped into it, I don't know, 3-4 weekends maybe, something like that. Had a bit of fun, and then, I don't know, it kind of didn't stick for some reason. I enjoyed it, but it just kind of didn't stick. And I feel like having a purpose, having come up with this plan of flying around Great Britain at least, has given me a reason to hop in, plan a route, that kind of thing. It's definitely, what I could have done last time, and I would like to do at some point in the future, is to fly some, really interesting areas, look at some really interesting airports and try and do takeoff and landings and stuff like that. There's any number of fun places in the Himalayas and all that kind of stuff would be interesting. I should definitely look up fun and interesting routes to fly and stuff like that. I'll start turning, I think. Oh, this is so rough. This is really rough. There we go. So I'll definitely have a look at those at some point in the future. I think maybe by that point I'll be really in the habit of playing this. I've got more used to flying this, and it'll give me something to do once I finish this series. Weird. I really feel like that. I find it hard to believe that the moon is too big in the sky. The author of this software has always struck me as the kind of person who would not have that kind of thing inaccurate, and yet the moon looks just weirdly big. I feel like this is going to be a really bad landing, just because it's so windy, it feels. At least I'm going to be landing into the wind. I won't be landing with a side wind or anything like that. Oh! I lost tracking on my hand. This isn't good. Oh no, I think, there we go. Right. The game just wasn't taking VR inputs for a moment then. I was even pressing the trigger button to let go of the yoke, and that wasn't happening. It's not the first time I've had that happen actually. I've held my... I don't know if it's because I'm holding my hand too still, that maybe even the headset decides that that control is not really up to much. At least it didn't happen at a critical point. Right, I realise that my altitude has crept up quite a bit. Maybe I should bring it down a little bit. It's going to be interesting to see how London itself is portrayed in here, because obviously I don't have any sort of real world scenery. I've just got whatever scenery. Yeah, I don't. What I mean is, I don't have a add-on scenery pack that does ultra realistic world and things like that. I just got whatever came with the sim. So it'll be interesting to see how London's done. So obviously, Edinburgh had the correct terrain, but there was no real building models or anything like that. There was no Edinburgh Castle or anything like that. Down to 2000. I actually don't really have a sense of how far I got to go. I think I got one more waypoint, because I did consider actually following the Thames, but it meanders quite a bit. So I think I've done it so I kind of come up to this bend here and then I cut straight across, because that brings me pretty much straight in on London City. So let's try and keep it around 2000 for the moment. Oh, this is so choppy. in real time. I'm just gonna I'm gonna put the autopilot on for a second. Hold my altitude. Let go. And there we go. I think that's working. I want heading. I'm going to go that way. Heading. There we go. Is that working? I think it's holding the altitude. There we go. Right, because I just want to have a look at this. Oh God, the yoke's going nuts. As is the trim as well. So windy. Right, can you see London City? Where is it? Is that it there? That's EGLL, I think it's EGLC I'm after. Oh, is that it there? There we go. That's it there, EGLC. So that's where we're heading. So it's still got a wee while to go yet. Right, I'm going to let the autopilot take the strain for the moment. Try and get back on track. Just because it's so damn bumpy out there at the moment. I want to give my arms a rest, ready for the landing. You can see just how much the trim wheel is going, and also the yoke. That's how windy it is out there. I've been thrown about quite a bit. Watch that speed. I'm going at a fair rate, but not ridiculously high. So I just need to watch that. The time's wrong suddenly. Hang on. Oh, it was showing. Was I? Maybe. Oh, I see. UT. No, that's not. Local time isn't 11:53. It's got the local time wrong. That's a first. This is 10:53. Interesting. Why do you think where I am is 2 hours ahead of UTC? That's weird. That's weird. Oh, now it's correct. Let's not ask questions. Right, here we go. So this is what I was saying, was I was originally thinking I'd follow all the little meandering, but instead I'm going to kind of cut across, because that lines me up. On London City. Right, so I've got about 10 minutes to go, and I think this is the final leg. Should should I take over again? No, I think I'll give it like 5 minutes and then need to start actually just losing a little bit of altitude. Whoa, not that much, not that quickly. Wow, I got 10,000 feet a minute. That's a bit ridiculous. At least the wings didn't snap off. Oh, we're going a bit fast now. Let's just dial back the speed. I got a really bad feeling about this landing. Really bad feeling about this landing. I think what I need to do is be ready to go around more than once. Because I haven't crashed yet. I mean, what am I? I'm like a quarter of the way around, maybe a third of the way around my intended flight, the actual goal of this whole series. And I haven't crashed yet. I've had a couple of hard landings, but I haven't had a crash. Don't intend to start now. Don't intend to start now. There's a bridge out there. Oh no, it isn't a bridge, it's power lines. So power lines over there as well. Yeah, I think that's just power lines going across the river. Still looking kind of breezy. I was hoping maybe as I got further inland, it may ease up a bit. Although the inputs by the autopilot don't look quite as desperate. Wondering if I should do a straight in or whether I should do something approaching, getting into a pattern, just so I get a good feel for the layout of the airport. It'd be fun to fly this in something bigger. I should probably do that at some point. I actually like flying, small prop aircraft and everything. Even when I was quite heavily into playing Flight Sim 2000 and so on, like 20 odd years ago, and had all the yoke and pedals and stuff like that. I was never that much into flying the big jets. I did on occasion, but I much preferred flying small prop aircraft, stuff like that. My absolute favourite was small bush aircraft. That was always really fun. Okay. Seems to be calming down a little bit, which is a good sign. Suddenly there's not the crazy inputs anymore. So actually maybe my hope that it's going to be a bit calmer as I get closer in is holding true. I just realised there's an aircraft carrier there. I didn't even pay attention to that. Right, we've got about 7 minutes left. Seem to be pretty much online as well. Can we see the airport yet? Yeah, I don't fancy my chances. So yeah, I could have followed the river. That would have been kind of fun. Okay, it's worryingly calm now. Like, worryingly calm. Why did it get so calm? The game pretty much stopped working and it's just flying straight. Temperature's gone up. It's gone up a degree. That's a good thing, right? Okay, I'm going to take over. I've forgotten which button it is to press to turn autopilot off. There we go, got it right. It's the alternative. The other button on the controller is to adjust my position. I'm always getting it wrong. Always getting it wrong. Yeah, do you know what? Suddenly, everything's a lot calmer. I don't feel like I'm having to fight the wind or anything like that anymore. Start losing a little bit of height. Slightly off track. Can't see the airport yet. Oh, there's something up ahead that looks kind of straight. That's it, isn't it? I think that's it. I think that's the that's the runway. I do believe that's London City up ahead. Yeah, definitely is. Definitely is. I recognise it. Kind of on an island, as it were, surrounded by water. It's far enough away that I can't quite make out the line I really want yet. There's definitely some high rises at the end. High rises, you know, skyscrapers, big buildings. I don't think I want flaps just yet. See how this goes. 1,000 feet. I can see Varzy to the right. I can't actually see any colour. Well, there's a hint of red, so I think maybe I'm a bit low on the glide slope. In fact, I seem to remember that London City has a steeper glide slope than you'd normally have. You know, airports. I'm probably totally wrong, but I got this feeling that it's normally like 3 degrees airports, and I think London City is 5. But that's kind of trying to recall from 20 years ago. I'm going to put notch of flaps down. Okay, yeah, I'm definitely showing red, so I'm low on the glide slope. So I'm at an okay altitude, So I'm just going to fly straight and sort of intercept the glide slope as my plan. I'm starting to get a bit too slow. Let's just have a bit of speed. I have a lot of low speed to play with compared to the sort of aircraft that would normally land here, so I can get down pretty low over the river pretty quickly. They're still showing red and I feel like I'm way too high. Oh, there we go. We're starting to intercept the glide slope. There we go, I'm on the slope. Right. Some more flaps. Okay, above the glide slope now. Ignore this. You're not seeing me do this. I'm sort of diving to intercept it. Right on the slope. Let's see if we can maintain that. Trying to watch my speed out the corner of my eye. Keep it around 50. Trying to keep it just in the green. Yeah, this feels like a really steep glide slope. Oh, I'm getting above it. Doing okay. Bit high on the slope. There we go. Back on it. Still on the slope. A little bit of buffeting going on. I'm ignoring the Vasi now. I'm just aiming for the runway, give it a bit of rudder. Little bit of power because I was just getting a bit too slow. We're down. Okay, that was actually not a bad landing. I'm actually pleased with that landing. Didn't feel very heavy at all. Right, guess I'll just taxi to the end of the runway. It's quite an incline here in the runway. This looks like an exit here. Where am I going to park at? There's a lot of big aircraft. Imposter syndrome kicking in. Where would be a good place to park, do we think? I'm just going to park over here. sure these areas are not for dinky little aircraft like me. But I'll take it. There we go. I'm down. Oh! Brake. Thought that was on. Excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Didn't want that. Where is that? There we go. All closed down. Now I can get out. Yay! I made it. I made it. I'm down. That wasn't bad. That actually went a lot better than I expected. Maybe my best landing yet on this trip so far. It felt more controlled than usual. I was expecting it to be really quite a fraught landing, especially given just how bouncy and windy it was for most of the flight. But yeah, it seemed to, just as I was getting further up the Thames, it got a lot calmer, a lot smoother. So yeah, that made for a good landing. So here we are at London City. So in my next session I will take off and head back out along the Thames and sort of, I don't know where I'll land next. Maybe not very far beyond the mouth, the mouth of the estuary or something like that. And then it's going to be down past Dover and then along the south coast, and I'll be getting back more or less to one place where I used to live. Used to live in Hampshire, so I know the sort of Portsmouth, Southampton, Isle of Wight area reasonably well, and I know other bits of the south coast from visiting and holidaying and stuff like that. So yeah, I'll be back into territory I know kind of okay, and then I'll be getting down Devon, Cornwall, all that kind of stuff, which I don't know quite so well, until eventually I'll make it into the Severn Estuary and then head for Wales. And I know South Wales fairly well. I do like that area. So yeah, long way to go yet, long way to go yet. I mean, I've been doing this, what is this? I feel like I started maybe around March, April time? I can't remember. I think it was about April time. And it's now August. And I've more or less I've made it from Edinburgh to London. Which is a pretty quick trip if you do it in a big aircraft. Directly, or even on the train. So yeah, I've taken the really long way and slow way of doing it, I guess. But it's been fun. So I don't know, I feel like it's hard to gauge in terms of the length of the coast and things like that. I feel like maybe I'm about a quarter of the way around now, even though, sort of Edinburgh down to London looks like a big area. Maybe it's getting on for a third. Feels like a quarter. We'll see, somewhere around there. But yeah, there's quite a way to go yet. I just noticed the moon is even lower in the sky now. So from this very successful, I feel, leg on my trip around Great Britain / the UK in XPlane 11, thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.